What is the weirdest fact you know? Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can. Subway bread is legally considered cake in Ireland. Macaulay Culkin is a classically trained ballerina. That there was a NASA-funded project in the 60s to teach dolphins to speak English, which managed to involve giving a dolphin hand jobs and LSD. The noises the raptors made in Jurassic Park were actually turtles fucking. If you flick your nipple, it'll get hard in 6 to 7 seconds. In 2014, a man in the Italian town called Bra was actually arrested for stealing brass. Wombats poop in cubes, then use the poop cubes to build little walls. There's a higher chance of you dying in a gender reveal party than getting attacked by a shark. Kentucky Fried Chicken was actually created in Utah, but when Colonel Sanders visited Utah, he decided to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken since he was from Kentucky. The skin between muscle and fat is called fascia and looks like a cobweb when pulled from those sections. The human brain has the same consistency as warm butter. Now take a moment to think about brain surgery with this new information. Pigs can't look up at the sky. Sad face. The average human erection has roughly about 130 milliliters of blood in it, while the average rabbit has about 126 milliliters in its entire body. So, there is more blood in your boner than in a bunny. Babies don't have kneecaps. A group of ravens is called an unkindness. If you're cold and have shivers but your testicles are hanging low, you have a fever. The Eye on Jupiter is a storm the size of Earth. Ducks have corkscrew dicks. There are more ways to shuffle a deck of cards than there are atoms on Earth. Corkscrews are shaped like duck penises. Kangaroos have 3 vaginas. The world's most dense organism is a tree named Pandolol that has just cloned itself across approximately 100 acres. If you shoot a gun too close to the henhouse, the hens lay bloody eggs. The term "drink the Kool-Aid" is historically incorrect. Jim Jones used Flavor Aid. Ctrl+Alt+down arrow will instantly take you to the bottom of any web page. Coconuts kill 103 people a year. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. Technically speaking, a male ballet dancer is a ballerino. Also, a single strand of spaghetti is a spaghetto. Spaghetto is also my favorite term for a rough Italian neighborhood. On the first Foo Fighters album, Dave Grohl was the only member of the band and he played every instrument. I don't know if this is a weird fact, but Jacques Villeneuve is, so far, the only F1 world champion that during his career no F1 drivers were killed in F1-related accidents. If you see something in the corner of your eye and look at it and it's gone, it could still be there. You put yogurt in someone's butthole to speed up decomposition. Opossums have remained largely unchanged by evolution, that is to the male having a forked penis and the female having a two-channeled vagina. If you were an Egyptian pharaoh and a mortal making $10,000 a day, you still wouldn't have as much money as the richest man on earth today. JFK's favorite food was tomato soup with sour cream. The opposite sides of a dice always add up to 7. If Walmart was a country, it would be the third largest in the world. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of Sherlock Holmes, published a book in 1922 about how fairies are real based on some pictures of fairies deemed authentic by an expert. The average length of a whale vagina is 21 centimeters or 8.2 inches. Sea otters steal seal pups and rape them to death. I used to work in sea otter rehabilitation. France's longest border is shared with Brazil. It takes more power and fuel to go from Earth to the Sun than it does to go from the Earth to Pluto to the Sun. I don't remember the exact year, but around the Two World War the US military dumped a shit ton of metallic needles into the ionosphere to facilitate radio communications. Men cannot ejaculate and pee at the same time. The first American film to drop an F-bomb was MASH. The CIA spent nearly 5 years and $10 million to make a covert spy cat with implanted microphones to eavesdrop on the Soviets. It was run over and killed by a car on its first mission. The human anus can stretch to 8 inches and a raccoon can fit in a 4-inch hole. Take that how you want. There are more airplanes in the ocean than submarines in the sky. Maybe not a fact, but an ability. I know how to overtone sing, aka Tuban, Mongolian throat singing. And I found out how entirely by accident. Male giraffes will headbutt a female in the bladder until she urinates. Then it tastes the pee to help it determine whether or not the female is ovulating. That guys can lactate. Ctrl+W clears up your computer. Dogs, female dogs especially, can have their period up to 3 weeks or more. Yeah, IK weird right. You can fit 2 raccoon up your ass. George Washington had hemorrhoids. A medium carrot weighs about 300 carats. Fruit flies booze up to fight parasites. Well, they seek out fermented fruits. Salt water takes longer to freeze than regular water. Sperm whales can't come. Castoreum is from a beaver's asshole and is used to make products taste like fruit. Centipedes can eat human flesh. That makes them even more scary, even though I didn't know that was possible. Imagine sleeping and waking up to a centipede eating you. The lowest reported lethal dose for water administered anally to a rabbit is 450,000 milligrams per kilogram. For a human woman it is 180,000 milligrams per kilogram over a 28-hour period. Our buttholes are the first body part that forms in utero. I read in an article not too long ago that in Germany, it's illegal to tune your piano at midnight. The reason stars twinkle is because they're binary stars, two stars orbiting each other. Yay, thanks 6th grade science teacher. Tapirs' penises are not only very large relative to body length, but they are also prehensile, i.e. they can grip and grab. The distance between your anus and your genitals is the length of your pinky finger. There is a fish that can climb up your piss stream, and the only way to get it out is by having your genitals cut open. Raptors were the size of turkeys. Ohio is the only U.S. state that doesn't share any letters with the word mackerel. On average, a boner and a hamster contain the same amount of blood. If you want to paint a violin red, you have to use a naphthol or pyrrole red, as a cadmium red pigment is too heavy and will alter the sound. That this question will be asked every 3 weeks till the end of time itself on this sub. William the Conqueror and Henry VIII's bodies both exploded street their funerals due to how fat they were, and the gases had nowhere to go. Manatees has a pussy that looks like a human pussy, and that's why there's a folklore about mermaids. Barnacles have the largest penis to body ratio of any animal. A group of cows is called murder. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.